All right. So it's your boy, the Blended Family Guy, back 6 o'clock, 30 minutes, hour of power. As you see, that's my 6-year-old Major. I think he's about to clean up some toys. And, he's shaking his head. No, you already cleaned them up? Yeah, there he is right there, y'all. We're going to be talking about technology, tools, tips that we've used regarding Major. Our 24-year-old, we have some pretty funny stories. We're going to wait till we get some people coming on line. My wife, and again, we don't want to give you this fake way of managing family and dynamics. So we're seeing that again. My wife is helping Major pick some of these toys up. No. We're waiting till some people come online. She's still in her amazing clothes she wore to church today. You know why? Because she looks great in them. And I think she wanted to show off a little bit. But she looks great, to say the least. Now, she's probably going to give me the side eye at me doing that. But I just want you to know that we're excited. So we're going to get a few things going. Really excited about this blended family and the topics that we're sharing. Again, technology tools, tips that we've used. I'll tell you what. We're going to go ahead and dive in here in just a second. I do want you to know this, that technology is a great thing, but it has to be managed. You have to put the limits on it, especially when it comes to your children. So first things first, when are you joining us? I'll tell you what, it's about to be 6:05. We have 25 minutes left. We're going to go ahead and jump in. So some of the things that I want to make sure that you're doing. One, make sure to follow us on Facebook. It's facebook.com, Marcus, Marquez, middle initial A, Holmes. You can also follow me on Twitter under the same profile, Marcus A. Holmes. Instagram, same thing, Marcus A. Holmes. Join our private Facebook group. There's going to be a lot of exciting things. The recordings of these Sunday night Blended Family Playbook talks will always be there. I also have a new YouTube channel where all this information will be there as well. So whatever medium you normally like using, we're going to try to be there. So you don't have to access us just from one platform. Also, and I've had a couple of people ask me in the past when they've seen me wearing the Blended Family Guy shirt, hey, those are coming to a Shopify store near you soon. George, my boy George, don't worry. I need to order yours. I haven't forgot. I just need to do that. So again, that's what I want to make sure you're doing. Also, marcusholmes.com. We're getting ready. We just rebranded our website, getting ready to really launch that. There's going to be some really cool free things we have going on. One is going to be, it's a good one too. How to live and be connected in this social media world and still lead your family properly. So want to make sure that you get those freebies when we do the launch. So again, here, let's go ahead and get it started, right? So the next thing we're going to be talking about is what are some tips, right? So here's some things that we really like to utilize. One, ability to block pop-ups. So some of the things that you want to make sure that you're really doing is, one, have especially when you have young children, and I would even say sometimes even when you have older children, if you feel it necessary, have one community computer that everybody works from, and make sure that those passwords, you know them. So if you are going to have different profiles for each of the children in your home or each of the different people in your home, make sure you as a parent know your children's password, right? Make sure you know that. Make sure that those pop-ups are blocked. Make sure that you have internet software that is going to, again, filter out that unwanted media that you don't want showing on your child's screen. So those are that's initially some of the things that we went over. Another one, media. Access only during certain points of the day, certain times of the week. I think we all know that even we as adults can be way too connected with our children, or way too connected with social media. We don't want the same thing with our children, right? So I'll tell you, that's one. Not allowing children to go to bed with their phone. I mean, this is real simple stuff, but again, I think it just bears repeating. Babe, you can come on, sit down, man. You can come on, sit down. Yeah, here's my lovely wife. Time. All right. Right time. I
don't have what I had on today.
Oh, she didn't have on. So, y'all, I guess she took off what she had on. She looked great, though. It was a real nice, rosy deal. It looked great. So, media, access only during certain points of the day. Like our son, when the school year starts, he is really not allowed to watch TV. Why? By the time he gets home, there's some homework. And if you just heard that little growl in the background, it's because he doesn't like that. But again, on the weekends, if he's earned that privilege, we do let him watch a little bit of TV, a movie, like on a Saturday and some. But we try to make sure he's active physically, that he's being challenged in his mind, that he's being able to play with his friends. Cell phone, social media, I suggest you get a contract together. There's several out there. If you just run a search on the internet, do cell phone contract, have them sign a morality/value/character agreement. Why is that so key? Because you want to set the tone in the house that there's certain things that are not going to be allowed. Once they're a teenager, no sexting, no bullying, things of that nature, that you as a parent will always have the passwords, right? So these are the types of things that you want. Chris, what types of things did we do when Camille was growing up that I think she used to hate them? We didn't care. But what were some of those things that she did? Because right when she got her first cell phone, I was, of course, working with AT&T. So I'd get a lot of promotional items, and I think she was probably one of the first kids ever to have a BlackBerry as soon as it came out. What did we do? I mean, she hated it, but we didn't care. So that's the other thing. You as a parent, you can't care if your kids don't like the safeguards you're putting in place. We told her as long as we're paying for the cell phone, she didn't have a choice. And that was part of the agreement. You want a cell phone? You don't have a choice. We're going to track your text messages. We're going to track your internet usage. We're going to track the pictures you send. We're going to track who you talk to until you prove.
We seem like we were really busy tracking. But,
it was easy because I was a technology guy, right?
But I'll just say this. I think that it's important to set boundaries, period. So what social media, and I just think with media, period, it has opened up such a greater world. So our children have more, as well as the grownups, have the ability to have more access to so many things. And so I think it's just so important that, for children, it's our responsibility to help them to establish boundaries. Don't just say, well, leave it to them to do it. No. And, your teenager wants you to help them. They really do. They may be resistant. But one thing I realize is that Camille, yeah, I mean, it wasn't that she despised it. No, I think there were just moments where she was like, gosh, come on, is it really that serious? But we knew that it was. And we wanted to just really safeguard her from a lot of things that are out there. I mean, you have a lot of people that are crazy, and, they are looking for children on the internet and through social media. So, we had a lot of conversations about, don't just hand them the phone, but like what could happen.
Yep.
Not saying that it did. Thank God that it didn't. But I think one of my favorite things that Marcus had on the phone, and I think it was through AT&T, was that tracker.
Yeah, it was good.
And it was when she was driving. I remember just really feeling like that was really something that helped us to just feel good about.
Oh, are you talking about the app where it would shut down her text messages if the app, since the car was in motion? Was that the one?
Because I think
that was
that's
a good one.
good.
She hated it, but I didn't care.
Yeah, because, I think that the temptation to text, you can take a vow.
Yeah.
If you want, you can pledge allegiance to no texting.
So this is a real live conversation, right? And our son, who's sitting over here eating some green beans and fish, just said, "Are you going to do that to me when I start driving?" Son, yes.
When I get a phone.
Yes, when you get a phone, absolutely, we will be doing that, son. Yeah, we're going to track everything you do.
Leland?
Yeah, even if you text Uncle Leland, we'll see that you've texted Uncle Leland. So I'm going to give you some names of these apps.
Okay.
All right. So Ms. Hodge, what is the name of the app? Here, I'm going to give you some here. Matter of fact.
So you pull it up.
We're going to give you some. Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead, Chris. So, well, how about this? Taria, you have to wait. We're going to be bringing the names of these apps. We're going to go through the top 15 apps. I'm going to give you the websites. We're going to give you all of that information here in just a second. Right now, we're going through those tips, but I'm just letting you know, Taria, we're going to have the names of those apps, not only for children, but those for kids. So we're going to be going over that here in a second, okay?
You can pull up the one from AT&T. I just know it was good.
You liked it?
And then when she went to college, if I wanted to, make sure she was okay, because it was hard for me. And I know some people that, they won't let their kids, well, I won't say they won't let their kids go away, but they're having a hard time because the time is coming when, they may not want to stay in your state, and it's okay, but I just, we're big on safety and security. And I think what helped me was knowing that, I could see, all right, she's in the dorm. She's on campus, or, I think one time when they had like that earthquake situation, something that happened in DC that like never happens. And, just being able to get on there and see that she was in her building, I don't know, some way, somehow it just kind of.
So she's talking about there's one, if you're with T-Mobile, the app you're speaking of is Family Anywhere with T-Mobile.
Okay.
I believe they brought it back into production again. If you're a T-Mobile customer, they had shut it down, I believe, for a while. But there's other apps out there that, again, we're about to list that go over it. And again, if you have an iPhone, it's it's limited because it just shows you where the person is, and you can contact them. But again, we're going to go over some of these apps that give you really complete autonomy to look at whatever your child or tween or teen is doing. And the reason why I say that, Chris, and me and you both agree with this, is that the right to privacy is always something that is earned. It's never given. So how we manage that with Camille is we told her, one, this is a safeguard put in place to make sure that the big bad guys that are out there that are smarter than you, that we're making sure you're okay. So she hated it. I am going to let you know, my daughter at the age of 13, 14, she hated it because she felt like we were trying to be big brother. And I told her, one, we're not trying to be big brother. We're trying to be your parents. And I said, if you want the cell phone, you're not doing anything wrong. You know how you're raised. You shouldn't care. And I said, this is accountability. So I said, the more trust you earn, me and your mom, the more trust you earn, the constraints come off. And here's what I also want to say, Chris. My daughter's 24 now, and she's, of course, much more mature than she was when she was 13 or 14. She now does not mind that I still track her. She likes the fact that I do. You know why? She knows that I'm not doing it, and I would never betray her trust. That's the one thing. She knows that I do it as a safeguard because the industry I'm in, I also do security, and the company I do at the very tail end and on the extreme, and very little of it, we do kidnap, ransom, and extortion negotiations. We do evacuations. We do a lot of the stuff, in terms of security and protocol that you have a bit of paranoia, right? Now, again, I trust in God, but I just know me. I'm also I'm also very paranoid, and that's okay. All right. My daughter knows it. She knows I've never abused her trust. I've never betrayed her trust when it comes to social media. So just want to say that. All right. That one thing. Chris, what is the funniest thing? You know what I want you to talk about real quick. And I know that we only have about 13 minutes left. How did we handle, and I want to bring, of course, God is always in the situation. We would pray that God would reveal certain things that were going on in Camille's life, either who she was connected to, who she didn't need to be connected to, what she was doing on social media, whatever that was. We would always say, hey, God, you know what? Expose anything that's not right in her life, expose anything that's going on social media wise. And it was the funniest thing. Camille thought we were magicians. I don't know how Chris would do it. Chris would walk in and babe, can you just talk about that? And I think just the faith you have to have also in God, not relying solely on technology to manage your children, but also asking God to reveal what needs to be done and who they need to be attached to.
I'm sure our daughter's going to be so pleased with this.
No, she's 24 now, so she knows. And I can't wait to have her on because she will laugh about it. But yeah, she didn't like us about 8 years ago.
I'll just say this. Parents are given the children that they have, and they're a gift. They are not, they're actually a gift on borrowed time. I realize that, a lot of times we get, this is my child, but, when you are a person of faith, you believe that God gave you that child between you and your husband, or, even a child that was born out of wedlock. So as a blended family, this child was born into this world. And so they are a gift because not many people are able to even conceive and have children. And so number one, when you understand that they are a treasure, then it's your responsibility through the time span that they have with you in your home to really seek God and ask him how. Yeah. So that blueprint, and as believers, we believe what the word of God is it's a blueprint that allows us to see how to make it through life, and even with how to raise your children, we really do. We've had times when we were able to apply certain prayers and certain principles over Camille's life from the very beginning. I think that's our number one security blanket is the word of God, because no matter what you get, no matter what you buy into, and all of these different devices, I think it was through us just asking God, well, what do we do? That we were led to certain things. Absolutely. We were led to buying. So, some people, and especially mothers, I know can be guilty of this, is that we, can get a little paranoid, as your children get older. And I think that, and especially when it comes to, the world as we know it now, like I said at the beginning, them being exposed to so many things, and there being so many things out there now, with my young son, I'm sitting there thinking like, oh my goodness, now I'm raising a son. Oh, and I think about all the things that, he looked at me like, what? No, that's a good thing, Major.
That's it.
Huh? Well, he looked at me. You just had to see that look. But what I mean is that with that comes certain things that I think about that I didn't think about with my daughter. And so I'm thinking, oh my goodness, you know, his eye gate, the things that he hears, you know. And so I think with this whole conversation about security, you know, why is it so important that if your child is, you know, between the age of 5 and 10, I just had a conversation with a very wise person that is a CEO of many businesses here in Houston this morning. And he, you know, he said between the age of 5 and 10, that's your window. And what he meant by that is that's our window of really them being, like I think I said last week, I was talking about the formal years of just taking in that information and then saying, this is what I like. This is who I want to be. And what happens is that if you give them an opportunity to use laptops or computers or to take an iPad or phone, you want to make sure that you are taking control of the information that is on there. Because just like as an adult, you may see an image and you're like, oh, wait a minute. And you can block that out, or you can say, you know what, that's not something that I need to go into and go further because that's not appropriate. That's going to open up something. It's going to put a virus on my computer. I'm going to have issues. But your child can't. So the best way I think to safeguard, and as I was telling Marcus, I said, is that, you know, we're going to make sure that we put blocks for pop-ups, you know, blocks for certain things. And there are things that are available. And I think that it's worth it to do it. It's not just, you know, there's some things that might be free. There's some things that do cost. But think about it. Would it be, I think there's a greater price to pay from putting them in a situation where their innocence is being robbed because of your choice to just kind of neglect and just say, here, take the phone, take the iPad, take the computer, and not monitor that and not even present it in a way where it's like, I have filtered this so it's appropriate for you. So,
you know, that being said, I know we have about 7 minutes left, right? I wanted to get on some things. So SafeWise right now. So here's the top 15 GPS trackers for kids, for parents. And these GPS trackers are kid friendly. I'm talking about for Major's age, you know, age 5 to 10, 5 to 6, 7, 8. They have geo-fencing alerts. One thing we don't, and again, depending on the child, now again, as we're broadcasting, like I said, this is a real family environment. You know, our son just walks over and tries to turn on the TV and it's loud. So if you hear that background noise, just know that's my 6-year-old. I love him. All right. So safewise.com here. Let me write that down. Safewise.com. I want you to show that. So if you go to safewise.com and just type in GPS tracking for kids, it's going to give you the top 15 products. Some are wearable watches, but what I love is they allow you to do geofencing. We don't allow our son, of course, to just go around the neighborhood alone. He's going to be with us, of course, but let's just say he's somewhere and we want to make sure that he stays within that perimeter. If he goes outside that perimeter that we set on our computer interface, it's going to alert him. Some of these others also provide listen in capability. So Major could be at school. He could be over a friend's house. And if we want to, we can turn on the capability where we can listen in while he's wearing this particular device. Others are two-way communication, where you can establish a certain number of kids or parents or friends, family that they can choose to text message. Now, they can't call them, or some have the capability where you can call. Others, it's just real SMS, but it's only to a list that you as a parent define. So you go to safewise.com, just do a search on GPS tracking, and it'll bring up the top 15. Another one, my number one choice, and Chris, technology is advanced beyond the 10. Wow. It's been about 10 years since Camille had her first cell phone. So the number one app that I think you should get, and it's an amazing app. Go to logger.mobi. And here, I'm going to type it up on the screen right now. www.logger.mobi. Blended.mobi. Why I love this particular app, it does everything you need if you have a teen or a tween and you're just wanting to build that accountability, that safety, that trust factor. And remember, trust is never given, it's always earned. And here's the other thing. If you've missed it, right, and you're like, man, I do need to start putting some safeguards on my child, on their social media, some accountability, it's never too late to start, right? So we don't want you to think that, oh man, you know what, I didn't start it out this way. You know what, I need to keep it. We have had some parents who, and again, let's be absolutely real. I will never, ever, and you can verify this with Camille, I didn't care that she would get mad. I didn't care that she thought she was a square or she was kind of like the only child. There was one time my daughter wanted to go to a party in high school. We didn't care. We went inside the party. We said, we need to make sure this,
let me explain.
Well, hold on though. Okay, I'm just giving one because we only got like 3 minutes. This is going to be on next week's show, babe. That's our son, yes. So I'm going to tell you, I know we got, but logger.mobi, text, internet, any photo sent, it automatically sends a copy to you. Even if your teen tries to delete what they've sent, it automatically sends you a copy. It also has geofencing. Why is that great? See, I used to ditch school a few times during high school, and it got me in trouble. You got to get in the camera back. Oh. I used to ditch school. Not good. But here's the thing. My dad would always catch me. That's a blessing. He didn't catch me all the time, but if he had had this app, I would have been in trouble. And my dad believed in corporal punishment, right? Command Sergeant Major Holmes. Yes, my last spanking came, I think, when I was 17 years old. Why? Because I was ditching. And he caught me, which was embarrassing because he was in the locker room when I came in for basketball practice. So my point is logger.mobi does some great things. It is all in one encompassing app. You'll really like that. The other one, YouTube for Kids. If you have a young child, there's YouTube for Kids. The filtering is not that great. I will tell you that. Not the greatest filters. It still allows a little bit of that garbage in, so you have to be careful. But again, it's better than normal YouTube because it tries to filter out a lot of the commercials that sometimes are very adult in nature. And then the best platform for children apps. All right. So although the iPhone, it's horrible in terms of anything compared to Samsung. It's just a horrible app and it has no battery. I think my wife's phone is dead right now. But it is outside, and it is. Get a Samsung iPhone. I don't care about this new iPhone 10. It's still going to be horrible. Batteries.
I would never do that.
See, that's what an iPhone person says. I don't even care about the batteries but their phone is dead. But here's the one thing that I think Apple does better. Their ecosystem of kid-friendly apps is better than Android. The ecosystem is much more built out. So I want to let you know that we really think that you should try to, if you're going to have an iPad versus a Samsung tablet. Here's the other thing. Filter your TV. Our son just now, he wants to watch a program. Well, guess what? We have every single channel where it has to have a password. Why? Because we just don't want him turning on any channel and thinking, he can do that. We have to make sure that the program is age appropriate. And then we still have filters beyond that. Yeah, see, you just heard my son validate. You see, I'm not telling a story. He just validated that everything is password protected. Why? Because we want to make sure we safeguard what comes into his mind, his ears, his eyes. And so we're very clear about that. Here's the other thing. Next week, and it's 6:31. We got to end this. My lovely wife is going to end it, but we're going to be talking about how to have a true blended family. And if our daughter is in town, we're going to be talking to her too. She's going to be on. We're going to be interviewing her. You're going to see just how awesome my wife and daughter are when they're in in an enclosed space and we talk about memories and go down memory lane. It's going to be great. All right, guys, tech tools and tips. This is going to be posted on the private Facebook group. Remember, you've got to get to our private Facebook group. It's it's a Pound Strong Blend. If you just run a search on there, you'll find it. Join our private Facebook group. There's going to be a lot of things that we push out there that doesn't come to the general audience. Also follow me on Marcus A. Holmes, our YouTube channel, you know, again, all of that, Marcus A. Holmes under Instagram, Twitter, all of that. I hope you liked it. We're enjoying this. You're going to see this every week. Tune in next week. And Dave, I just want to say thank you. You're amazing. I know I'm hard to deal with. All right, go ahead. You can
that was
go
a little
ahead.
fake moment.
Okay.
All right, back to reality.
Yes, it was.
So bottom line, I don't want y'all thinking that we were just, you know, really crazy. And I think talking to Camille is going to justify the craziness of, you know, the type of parenting style that we had to have for her. Because remember, every parenting style doesn't work for every child.
That's right.
And I think that having her come on board will validate a lot of the things that I have said and that you said. And some of y'all like, they're just too much. Or that's just what in the world? Or they were always, again, you have to know who you're raising. You know, like we happen to be raising the CEO, you know, the next, you know, I don't know what she's got so much greatness in her that as a leader, those qualities were pouring out. And so we had to really make sure that we showed her, you know, we guided her. You know, the Bible says, train up a child in the way that they should go. So we had to like take her and show her which direction she needed to move into. And it had to do with just knowing her character and the personality that she has. Yeah. So with that being said, thank you again.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. All right. Hope this helps. It definitely helps us. All right. Take care. Thanks again.